Jeroboam was still king of Israel when Rehoboam died. After his death, Abijah became king of Judah. Sometime later, Jeroboam and the army of Israel invaded Judah. When the two kings faced off, Israel had twice as many soldiers as Judah. Still, Abijah stood on the hill and yelled over to the men of Israel and said, "Oh, you men of Israel, you have left the family of David to serve a servant of Solomon's. On top of that, you have left God to worship Jeroboam's 2 golden calves. And your priests are not from the tribe of Levi." He went on and on, preaching to the men, not realizing that while he was doing this, Jeroboam was taking part of his soldiers and moving them to around the back of Judah. Suddenly the army of Judah realized that they were surrounded. They cried out to God, and the priests blew the trumpets. And then they attacked Israel, and God fought for them. 500,000 men of Israel died that day, and the rest ran from the field. For the rest of his life, Jeroboam just couldn't get over this great defeat. And yet, Abijah became stronger because he trusted the Lord. When he died, his son Asa became king. Now, Asa ruled over Judah for 41 years, and God gave him 10 years of peace. He went throughout Jerusalem and destroyed all the idols that Solomon had set up. And he taught the people to trust the Lord. Suddenly, a large army from Ethiopia attacked from the south. Asa took his army to go out to meet them and then realized how massive this army was. He cried out to God and said, "Oh Lord, only you could give victory here." And God did. Judah attacked and God fought for them. And the men of Ethiopia finally ran and turned and ran, and Judah chased after them. Many of the Ethiopian soldiers died. And afterwards, the soldiers of Judah went and collected the possessions from the dead bodies lying on the ground. And they took all the sheep and camels. On their way back to Jerusalem, a prophet stopped them, encouraged Asa and the men of Judah to always follow after the Lord. Right there, Asa decided that he would destroy all the other idols from the other cities around Judah. He even replaced his grandmother as queen mother of Judah. Word of this spread throughout Israel, and people who wanted to serve God moved from Israel down into Judah in large numbers. Asa finally declared a feast, and all the people came together, and they dedicated themselves to always serve God. Asa took some gold and silver and put it into the temple treasury. And God blessed them and gave them peace from all of the surrounding nations. But unfortunately, Asa came to a turning point in his life. It happened when a new king of Israel decided to invade Judah. They came and they took over several cities there. Instead of Asa crying out to God, he got another idea on how he could get an advantage over Israel. He took the gold and the silver that were in the temple, and he sent it up to Syria, which was north of Israel, to a king, Abinadab. And he said, break your treaty with Israel so that we can have an alliance between our two nations. Abinadab took the silver and gold, broke his treaty with Israel. Then he invaded Israel from the north and took over several cities. Well, Israel had to cancel its southern campaign so it could go up and defend itself up in the north against Syria. It seemed like Asa's plan worked brilliantly until a prophet came and talked to him. He said, hear the message from the Lord. Why wouldn't you call on God to fight for you rather than Syria? Don't you remember the army from Ethiopia and what God did there? The Lord is looking for those who will simply trust Him. You have acted foolishly. Therefore, you will have war for the rest of your life. Asa was angry, called for a guard and said, take this man and throw him in prison. Oh, but after that, Asa became cruel to his own people. And suddenly he got a disease in his feet. It got worse and worse. And even when it became life-threatening, he refused to call upon the Lord, but trusted his doctors. Finally, Asa died after suffering 2 years in great pain.